People always ask how an author gets an agent or how they get published. Can you talk a little bit about the support you found from editors early on, and then how that led to an agent and publication?
When Old Testament Wisdom got published, the editors were really cool, and it was what I didn't realize then is how the internet was going to kind of explode. Granted, now you get paid, but I was kind of leery of it because you don't know the quality. But you know, you go and you read, and you're like, okay, well, there's quality here, so I'll try to submit there. So I went from there to Plots with Guns, and the editor at the time, he's still the editor, but he's got somebody else doing a little more of the work for him. He's also a college professor. Is Anthony Neal Smith. He's written a couple of books through an independent publisher, a couple of different independent publishers. But the support I got from him was basically, he's like, man, it got to a point where he probably published 4 or 5 of my stories and said, you need to try other venues, because anything you write, I'm going to publish because I like the way you write. I like your stories. So I did that and branched out a little bit, and got to be really good friends with him, and finally got to meet him. And I did my first reading with him in St. Louis with another person who was part of the online, and basically, like, if you want to call it crime or noir writers, Judea Ayers, whom is really good friends with Scott Phillips. You all probably don't know Scott, but he wrote a book called The Ice Harvest that turned into a movie with Billy Bob Thornton and John Cusack. Well, I got to meet Scott and everybody, and they just kind of took me under their wing. And the first thing Scott asked me was, do you have an agent? And I'm like, no. He says, well, you need one. And that's how I met my agent, Stacia Deckard. Basically, Neal Smith had told me the same thing. I'm trying to think at the time. I believe I had submitted to her, but she hadn't read anything yet. And Scott was like, he mentioned some names, and Stacia's name was one of them. And I said, oh, I've got something out to her. And he said, well, I'll put a good word in for you. And she didn't sign me right away. I mean, she read the manuscript of stories and liked it. And at the time, I was working on a novel called Donnybrook, and it won't be out till 2013. But she wanted to see it when I was ready. And I told her, well, how about, you know, I had like 25,000 words at the time, and she was like, sure. Sent that to her, she loved it, and then she signed me. So, internet's a good tool for that right now. Not just saying to land an agent, but the support you need, because, you know, I probably spent 6, 7, 8 years just me not being able to talk to anybody else, you know. You know, I mean, you know how that is. And it's kind of lonely, but you gotta believe in yourself and believe what you're doing is just. And either you have it or you don't. You have to have thick skin. I mean, that's the major gist of it.